Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Just see if I can't hear anything. Hmm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, why can't I hear nothing?
Hmm. Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear? Yep, now I can hear you. Good.
Okay.
All right. Ha! Thank you, Brandon, for tuning in. Thank you for coming on to New Life Poetry, man. Um, so guys, I want you to hashtag live, hashtag replay. If you're catching this replay, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Thank you guys for tuning in to New Life Poetry, and I have a special guest on here. His name is Brandon Knable, and we're talking about depression tonight, and what he does, and what he's trying to start something new, because people forget about this a lot of times, and this is something that needs to be talked about. So, Brandon, man, let the people know where you're coming in from and what you do and what inspires you to do this.
Okay. So quite frankly, I'm 21 years old. For the longest time, when I was about I'd say 13, 14, I struggled with depression for like a good 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was really, really bad to the point to where, I was suicidal. I was extremely, extremely depressed. And quite frankly, I tried to take my time. Tried to take my life more times than I had even count on my fingers. Um, and quite frankly, during those times, I felt really alone. It's almost like I felt that, there was no resources that were out there, especially for men. And I tried looking for all kinds of resources. I tried getting help, and quite frankly, I had a hard time finding it. So
Right.
I said, you know what? I promised the Lord. I promised the universe that you get me out of this, and you stop me from being depressed, and you get me out of this hole, and I promise you that I'll use what I know and how I pretty much came out of that to be able to help others. And so that's exactly what I still do right now, and that's quite frankly what I'm going to be doing to the day I die. So
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So, let them know where you coming in from, and how old you are, and all that good stuff.
okay, so I'm 21 years old. I graduated high school, I'd say about a couple years ago. I tried college. College didn't really work out. So I that's kind of why I got into entrepreneurship. Um,
Hmm.
Quite frankly, I tried affiliate marketing. I tried all these little things where, like most people do when you first get into entrepreneurship. But quite frankly, it wasn't something I was passionate about. And, I've been wanting to do this, mental health stuff and for a very long time. And so, that's kind of why I took it serious and why
Okay.
I'm doing it full time now. Um, so yeah.
Okay. So why do you think? So what type? Why do you think depression is so common nowadays?
Mainly because not only because of social media, because I feel like personally that people tend to blame social media, but it's not social media, right? It definitely does not help, but that's not you can't say that social media is the reason for your depression. Like me personally at least, because if say for example, if I'm feeling a little depressed, you're feeling a little depressed. You go on social media, did social media make you depressed? No, it didn't, because you were depressed before you got on there, right? And
Right.
so what I think depression a lot of the times is because, people just compare themselves to other people, like, oh, I'm so young, and like, I'm 21 or I'm 18 or I'm 35 and I'm not where I want to be and all these other guys are. you know. And so like that comparison,
Oh yeah.
and and not only that, you know, like where a lot of the times people just let their past stay in the present. So like say if you've been through the worst, like if you've been, if you've been molested, you know, like my good friend did, you know, my other friend that I have, when he was younger, you know, or if you have a negative family, or if you've been traumatized, you know, PTSD, like, you know, then a lot of the times that can also cause depression as well. But what causes it even more to be more severe is keeping it in the present and not leaving it in the past, and working through that, and kind of working to leave it in the past and to try to make a new future. So many people
So
hold that baggage and it keeps them there. So
so Brandon, would you say, if I was to ask you this question, what would you say? Like if I was to ask you if the past gives you depression in your present, and if you go too far into your future, would that give you anxiety? Does that give you anxiety? Like when you step into like let's say like you was thinking of the outcome before you even went to go do that. Let's say you was going for a job interview, right? And you started panicking before you even went to the job interview. You started thinking these things in your head, like, you know what, I'm not going to get this job. They're just going to tell me that we have everybody hired already. Would you say that going too far in the future gives you anxiety?
most definitely. So it kind of goes both ways, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
you can't go back to your future. Sorry, you can't go back to your present, but you can't go too far into the future. That's where most people mess up. They want to, they want to think about, oh, what could happen if I were to do this, or what happens if this, and what happens in that. And it's like, quite frankly, what you can control, try to control it, but what you can't, let it go, right? Because too many times where we're already have mass anxiety, we're already worried about our bills, maybe your family member is sick, maybe you have a big
Yeah.
important job interview. Like, too many people worry about too much stuff, and it causes not only stress but heart problems, health problems, and can also lead to mass depression. So it
Oh
could
yeah.
go both ways. So
Oh yeah, it can. Let me give a shout out to Jones Random Knowledge. Thank you for tuning in. He says, how we doing, man, live.
how's it going?
Um then he says, I just posted a real long. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, I can see it. Thank you for tuning in. Guys, if you haven't signed into StreamYard, please, so I could give you guys some shout outs in the comments. So So what's your main focus? Like where are you trying to do with this coaching that you're doing? What's your main goal? Your main vision
My main
to
vision is to
accomplish?
My main vision is to the point to where I want to make it where nobody feels, where nobody, like, if they're feeling it right now, they're going through it right now. I want to be able to help them to get to the point to where they no longer feel that anymore. What I'm talking about is depression. And so it's like, if you're going through depression, if you're going through suicidal tendencies, if you're not where your life where it wants to be, pretty much my goal is to help as many people as possible. To be honest, specifically men, that's just my expertise. But I could also help women as well because it's the same strategies. But my main goal is to make it to where nobody knows what it's like to feel depression ever again. And I,
So
quite frankly, have a lot to do. But
what's your strategy called, Brandon?
so it's called the HMPI method. And to kind of break it down, what it means is habits, mindset, passion, and impact.
Yeah, I
HMPI.
like that. HNPN. Say that again.
H M
Uh huh.
P
Uh huh.
I. So like
I
H as in
HNP.
horse, M as in mindset, P
You
as
go
in
ahead.
passion, and I as in impact.
All right. I like that. I like that, bro. I like that. Exactly. That's it. Philippians 4:13. Jesus has got the answer. and he does every time. Like every time, I am gonna lie. Like I got through a lot of stuff through these scriptures, bro. It's all in the scriptures, man. Every piece, every piece. Thank you, Jones Random Knowledge, and thank you for putting that. Philippians. You know what? I got to go and look at that too. Chapter 4, verse 13. Thank you for the comment, bro. Always. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like right now, where you're at right now, where you stand at right now. What are you? What's your goals for the next week or two?
So for the next week or two, I'm kind of looking for specifically right now, people just for my coaching program, and it's not paid at all. You know, it's completely free. Just
Uh,
mainly because I just actually came up with this method, and quite
that's
frankly, it's
good.
the exact method and the exact process that I went through. But I don't want to just start charging, right? Because quite frankly, I don't know. Just because it works for me doesn't mean it could work for other people. And so I
I
want to
like
make
that.
sure that, if I'm even thinking about, taking somebody's money, like I want to know that I could absolutely 110% help these people. And so quite frankly, like I said, I'm looking for a couple people to help for completely for free, a couple coaching calls, and to essentially go through this exact method, the HMPI method, and see if it could work for you. And if it does, then, to pretty much start doing this full time.
Okay. So what are you aiming at? The younger crowd, younger kids, or because I see a lot of young people going through like real hard depression. Because when I was like 13, 12, I was going through mad depression. I tried to kill myself a couple times. I tried to slip my wrist a couple times. I remember this. I'll never forget this. Like this stuff like is real. Depression is real.
100%.
Yeah.
As far as demographics, it doesn't really matter. Like, old, young, it doesn't matter. But the main thing is that you have to want to put in effort, right? Because quite frankly, I didn't just wake up the next day and was like, oh well, you know what? I need to change my life. Like, you know, my life is now changed. Like, no, like it took me 4 or 5 years, to just even come up with this strategy, and it's exactly what I went through, and it took me a long time. And so, people just need to want to put in effort. If they can put in effort and actually want to change their life, then you can pretty much achieve anything. So
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you, Brandon. Like
thank
really, bro. You don't see a lot of 20-something-year-olds like want to like do this. Like this could really change a lot of people's lives. Like for real. Like really,
th-
this is like awesome, man. I swear to God, bro. Like I'm
thank you,
proud
man.
of you. God's proud
Thank you,
of
man.
you.
Thank you,
So,
man. I appreciate it.
oh yeah, I appreciate you, man. I thank you. I thank you. Thank God. I thank Jesus for you, because all this stuff is a blessing. We have to go through
Most
these things for we could bless other people.
100%.
Yep. And that's a part of being a leader. And you're a leader because you're on here speaking your truth for you to help other people. All right. So, man, tell some people about you. Like, what's your favorite color, bro? Like, for real. What's your favorite color, man?
What's my favorite color? Crazy colors like this, like, real bright. I literally, like, I'm not even joking, man. So just a quick funny story, right? And so, like, before my car broke down and before I ultimately lost my job, like, I was
Okay.
delivering I was delivering food to colleges, right? And
For real?
I used to dress real baggy. I'm talking about pajamas, maybe. I'm talking about basketball shorts, like literally, like, have you seen Adam Sandler, how he wears like basketball shorts and just a baggy shirt?
Yeah.
Like that's how I used to dress every single day. I didn't care if there was, I didn't care if I was, like I didn't really care. Like I just, but now, like now I try to wear, colorful stuff. I don't know if you can quite, um, No, you can't see like my striped shorts, but I was gonna show you my striped shorts. But
It's okay.
so but yeah, so like because of college, man, because like I was delivering around college areas, I kind of just changed the way I look, and dressed,
Okay.
and kind of been doing that ever since. So
Okay. So what other passions do you got? I know you got some other gift.
um,
What
as far as
what's
other gifts, man, like
like hobby?
I'm
What you do for a hobby?
so hobbies, I'm actually taking a look at my piano right now. And so quite frankly, piano is pretty easy to me. And quite frankly, I can, play like just the way you are. I used to be able to play with my eyes closed, but by Bruno Mars. But so I relatively like I can play the piano pretty good. Um, I can figure that out really soon. And then I also like to play like sports and stuff. But outside
Oh.
of that, I really just have a passion for making people laugh. So if I wasn't doing this full time, believe me, especially if you saw my TikToks, like I could be a comedian, and a lot of people have told me so.
That's good. That's good, man. That's good. That you can make people laugh and make yourself laugh. You know, that's
Yep.
always good, man. See, that's why I dig you, man. All right.
And let me just make a point really quick as well too. So quite frankly, how I knew that, like, not only like this is not a pat on the back, but like how I knew that not only am I passionate about what I'm doing, but also like the fact of like I also have this gift where it's like you said, to make people laugh. And quite frankly, I use that to help people, just like comedians do. When you go to a comedy show, it doesn't matter that, your dog died. It doesn't matter that you're black, you're whatever, or that you're struggling or this and that. Like you go to a comedy show, everyone is equal. Everyone is equal. And when you leave from that show, you don't
Yeah.
you it's almost like it's almost like all your problems just vanished, right? Like because when you go to see a
hmm
comedy show, you're not worried about the bills, you're not worried about this and that, like, and that's how I look at it. Like, oh, if I can make this person
Oh.
laugh, if I can make this person laugh, like, because you never know what somebody's going through. So my philosophy is I try to make at least somebody smile every single day, even if I don't know them. I try to do something funny or whatever,
Yeah, that's what I do
because
too.
just to because even by doing that little thing, like they're now focusing on something much more like positive and much more like that could make their day better. And now how do you know that they weren't going to go kill themselves, or that they
Right,
weren't
you
going to go
don't know
jump off a
that.
building?
Right,
Like,
you
and how
don't
do you
know that.
it's insane, I'm telling you. Like I've literally like they've been to the point to where they've even told me, like, you know what, you saved my life. Like, I'm not saying this to, but I'm saying like straight up, like just by even taking the time to talk to somebody or to make somebody laugh or just
Exactly.
shoot the
Please.
breeze, they're like, oh my god, like nobody has ever gave me that kind of time before, and like you saved my life just with something like that. And so now I take that very much to heart, and I quite frankly I think everyone should try to do that, especially if you're trying
All
to
right.
help people, so
Exactly. I'm gonna get to the comments real quick. Uh, Jones random knowledge. He says, Tim Tim, chapter 1, uh, verse 7. Check out that one. Kara, thank you for tuning in. Kara B. She
yeah,
says
exactly, I love
it's
that
great
comment.
to make people laugh, especially now during this time. Exactly,
Yeah,
and all the time we gotta make them. You know, it's always good. Like you use that like something funny, and that's why I use poetry. Like I use poetry to lift people up, motivate them, inspire them. You know, music is good. You know, making people laugh, all that. You never know what someone's going through. Like depression is
exactly.
so real. It takes people out. Like my dad went through depression. Like I've seen a lot of people go through depression. There's people going through depression right now as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you
100%.
though, the the one that got me out of this depression was God, like Jesus for real. Like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God and Jesus for real. Like it I woke up and I was like, you know what? This stuff is a lie. This is a lie. We're better than depression. We could defeat all these things, anxiety, all of that.
What was a lie? Like what you were telling yourself in your head, or just the fact that you were
Yeah,
going through depression?
and saying all this stuff is a lie. Like the stuff I was telling myself in my head, and all these things,
100%.
just it's trying to stop you from helping other people.
100%.
Yeah,
Especially
you
when you're going through
know the Jones
especially
from
when you're going. Sorry, go ahead.
Joshua Jones
His
says, "I
avatar.
know that the Jones random knowledge guy."
His avatar looks familiar, and yeah.
It said testimony is what helps. Yes, you got to be able to tell your story. That's what helps. It helps you
Yep.
because you're releasing it. You're releasing it. You're releasing it. You put it in God's hands. You're not trying to control it no more. You just let it. You feel it. You let it go. You acknowledge the thought, and then you switch your perspective on that thought. You think about something else, which you switch your perspective, and then you let it go. And it took me
100%.
years to understand that. Because you can't stop your thoughts.
Exactly. You can only change them.
Right, that's it. Right, exactly.
Because
Right, that's the only.
especially me,
What?
like when I was going through that depression, like state, like for the 4 or 5 years, I kept telling myself stupid stuff like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I can't be loved, I can never be happy, this, that. And I just kept all these negative thoughts. But ultimately, you have the choice to say, you know what, this is true or this is not true. And by changing that story of what you tell yourself in your head, like you'll be surprised on how crazy your life can shift within a couple years or even less time. So it's all in your head.
Alright. Plug the phone in.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Oh,
Breaking
there
up
you
though.
go.
Can you hear me? We will probably have to cut
Yeah.
it short. It's messing up real bad. I don't know why. Guys, who tune in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hashtag live. Who was catching this live? Hashtag